Thank you very much. I would have forgotten this. Okay.
Okay. Ready? All right. Good morning. As a preliminary matter, this is John Brescher, Chair of the Real Estate Assessment Committee. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Rhoda Weinman.
Aye.
Penny Dye.
Aye.
Lisa Apperstein.
Aye.
Thomas Barrett.
Aye.
All right. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Eleanor Antonetti.
Aye, or here.
Beautiful. Anticipated and potential speakers, please respond in the affirmative. David Buckley.
Here.
And I see that we do have other members of the public. Do you want me to address them now, Eleanor, or wait?
Yes, it's a good idea.
Okay, Heidi Drew.
Here.
Let's see, Tim Greger
Here.
and Kat Greger.
Yep, I'm here.
All right, good morning. This open meeting of the Real Estate Assessment Committee is being conducted remotely consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020 due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we've been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of the public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with the agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable access to the public is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment to those members of the public that have joined the meeting via Zoom. For this meeting, the Real Estate Assessment Committee is convening by video conference via Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. For Zoom meetings, please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. Meeting materials. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I, the chair, knows otherwise. All right, we are now turning to the first item of the agenda. Thank you.
Quickly, just, sorry, through you, Mr. Chair. The agenda has some, this happened to me with another agenda, Penny will remember, some faulty numbering. So just approve the amended agenda to include numbering, and also the plan number reference for the first matter is left blank because I didn't have the recording information when I drafted this, so that will be corrected.
Okay.
So an amended agenda, please.
Okay. Let's see. Before we turn to that, let's go over some ground rules. I, the chair, will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking, and please remember to speak clearly. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in conversation with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. For items with public comment, after members have spoken, the chair will afford public comment to those members of the public that have joined the meeting via Zoom. Members of the public who wish to speak must state their names and be acknowledged by and speak through the chair. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. All right, let's go to the first item on the agenda, which is an approval of the agenda as amended with new numbers.
So moved.
All right, motion has been made. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Beautiful. Motion made in a second. Is there any discussion on the motion? All right, hearing none, let's do a roll call vote. Lisa Apperstein.
Aye.
Penny Dye.
Aye.
Rhoda Weinman.
Aye.
Thomas Barrett.
Aye.
And the chair, John Brescher, votes aye as well. Beautiful. All right, public comment. Anybody from the public wishing to speak now? Not? Okay, cool. Let's go to the approval of the minutes. Approval of the minutes of February 3rd, 2021.
I move approval.
Okay,
I'll second it.
motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, let's do a roll call vote. Lisa Apperstein.
Aye.
Penny Dye.
Aye.
Rhoda Weinman.
Aye.
Thomas Barrett.
Aye.
And the chair, John Brescher, votes aye as well. All right.
Hold
Next.
on. Thomas was not present on February, so he should not be part of the vote.
That's
Okay.
right.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, Thomas.
It's okay.
Okay. So next item would be number 5, I believe, which would be orders of taking. I have to recuse myself from this one, so I'm going to let Rhoda take over.
Thank you, John. This is an order of taking 14 Clifton Street, 9 South Road, and 6 North Road, and it's also known as North Sconset Road, lots A, B, and C. And Ellen, you were going to fill in the plan number on that,
Yes, it's 2021-31.
2021-31.
I think it's in the packet on page. give me
I'm
one-
just looking at the order of taking part of it, and it has just question marks. But anyway,
Yeah, it's in the
um,
packet on page 15. I was able to get it.
oh, okay, I'm on 3. So this was approved last year, 2020 town meeting. Does anybody have any questions on this, comments? If not, looking for a motion.
Well, I think, hold on, I'm sorry, through you, Madam Chair. I think Mr. or Mrs. Gregor, are you the people with whom I emailed last week about this?
Yes, hi. So
Hi.
we're in 2 different rooms, trying to keep the background noise down. But yeah, no, we're at 6 North Road. And so, yes, Eleanor, we emailed about it. Honestly, we're joining just because we have never heard of this process and just heard about it this weekend. And so are trying to understand what this means for us. Just so that everybody on the committee knows, the plan would reduce our frontage on North Road, but it sounds like we would be entitled to acquire the Lot C that would reduce our frontage onto North Road, which may be fine, but we have HDC approved plans that use that piece of the frontage. So it certainly caught our attention, and we just wanted to make sure we understood whether or not we would be losing access to frontage as part of this process. So I don't know that we necessarily sort of oppose the plan if Eleanor, what you emailed to us is correct, where we would be able to acquire that piece. But we were concerned that if it somehow, that was not the plan, that somehow we would lose about 10 feet of our frontage. So that was our only real question, was to confirm that we wouldn't lose
Yes.
that.
No, well, I'm glad you brought this up. We have another situation that's coming up next, actually, which is sort of related to this. So basically, I emailed you on Sunday, a very long email. I don't know if you had time to read it, but sort of explaining what this is all about in the process. And you might want to stick around for the next one. So basically, this nub of North Street is an unconstructed nub of North Street. Like your driveway actually is before this particular tiny nub that you would have the ability to acquire eventually after land court registration. Now, it is possible that we could approve the taking of lot A and B and not C, so that you would be able to retain frontage there. That's up to REAC if they want to recommend that or not. It is true that your frontage will go from 75 to approximately 6510, which would be non-compliant. But the thing is, our zoning bylaw has a particular provision which protects you and your lot and would endow it with something called pre-existing nonconformity, or basically a kind of a grandfathering of that non-conforming frontage, because we, the town, are creating that nonconformity. So you have the option to acquire this 148 square foot parcel eventually. Now, mind you, it has to go through land court, and anybody on this committee can tell you that's an unfortunately protracted, ridiculously protracted process for no good reason. So it's worth discussing whether or not we want to leave lot C out. It is shown here, but I don't know how you want to handle that. I'll leave that up to this committee, but that is.
What if we
May
so that they
oh,
can
sorry.
talk about it and make a decision? Or if you want to make a decision today, as Eleanor said, we can eliminate parcel C, or we can go forward with all of it. It's entirely up to you.
May I just add one more point, if it's acceptable, right? Just real quick.
Sure.
Yeah. So even though our driveway is currently further down the lot, that we have HDC approved plans for our house that would have the driveway be at the far east end of our lot, exactly where that additional lot C is. I will say, as the homeowners, if once we found out that we could buy it, I think we're fine with proceeding with lot C. I'm joining now because I am playing catch up, and Eleanor, your email was super helpful. So thank you very much for that. But I guess we have no objection to it. I just want to make sure everybody was aware that our driveway would get moved in the process. But if we will have the right to buy that 148 square foot, I think we're fine with it.
You will have the right. I just want to say the caveat again is the land court process is, it's really takes years.
Okay.
So I don't know if you find it worth it to wait for 148 square feet. And I'm going to leave it up to the board what they think is, you know.
Well, I think it's up to the applicant to decide whether she wants to go forward with this now or think about it or not.
Yeah, I mean,
So to
We can
be
continue
clear,
it to
we're,
the next meeting if you'd like. We meet usually once a month.
Are we the applicant? We're not the applicant though. I don't know.
No,
if
you're
we're
not.
No, you're not the applicant, but you're on the agenda. So if you want to, I mean, you can ask us to continue it.
yeah, this is Tim Gregor speaking. I'm not sure. That we're new to this. The only thing I think that Kat and I were concerned about was that all the parcels being consolidated and not being able to just buy C as a standalone to maintain access to our new driveway.
there's no risk to that whatsoever. The only way anybody else could get parcels or lot C would be if you signed a notarized assent granting that right of first refusal to someone else.
Exactly.
Thank you, guys. We're playing catch up. I apologize.
It's all right.
Yeah, with that, I don't have any objection to it going forward. Tim, just make sure you agree. Sorry, we're in different locations.
No.
Is everybody ready to vote on this? Yes, board? Okay. Somebody want to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion that we approve the order of taking for the
And Lee's
property.
happy to second.
I'm sorry, what happened, Lee?
Happy to
Please.
second the motion.
Oh, okay, good. We ready to vote? Everybody in favor?
Aye.
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 Rhoda, I think you have to
Aye.
do it by, I think you have to do it by roll call.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You have to call people's name, Rhoda. So
Okay. Penny Dye,
Aye.
Lee Saperstein,
Aye.
Thomas Spirita,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Rhoda Weinman.
Great.
Okay,
And I am going to recuse on the next item on the agenda.
let me just
I'll be
explain,
moving.
Mr. and Mrs. Gregor, you will be receiving a certified copy of the order of taking along with the two other direct abutters once it's gone to the select board if they approve it at their meeting on May 26th, then it will be signed and endorsed by them, recorded with the registry of deeds and the land court here district, and then I will send you a certified copy of that, assuming all goes according to plan. And then we
Awesome. Thank you very
move on
much.
to the rest of it.
Johnny, you
Thank you.
here?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. You're on.
Thank you. All right. Now on to the fun one. Not to say the order of taking wasn't fun, but this
John?
is, yes,
I need to recluse myself from this one as well. Because I do work for Atlantic East on caretaking their property, so would that
Okay.
be a conflict?
okay,
Okay,
fair enough. All right, thank you.
I think it might be a conflict, so I don't want to cause any issue.
If you don't want, sure. Okay. Consider yourself recused. Thank you. Okie doke. So, the request before us is for a positive recommendation to the select board, specifically to modify the subdivision restriction in the deed whereby the town create a portion of the unnamed road off of Milk Street Extension to the petitioner. Eleanor, do you want me to jump in, or do you want to start, or do you want me to turn this over to Mr. Buckley?
I'm happy to turn this over to Mr. Buckley.
Fair enough. David, rock on.
Thank you, sir. So our request today is to modify a restriction that was contained in a deed to a yard sale parcel that Heidi purchased in 2017. And although there are a few issues or a couple issues going on here, the short version of it is when Heidi purchased the or prior to Heidi's purchase of the yard sale piece, her lot was already subdividable through a simple A&R process. At the time she purchased the yard sale parcel, it contained a deed restriction which prevented further subdivision of the property. That was an oversight in the acquisition process. Now, looking back, we're seeing that this was a substantial diminution of value to Heidi's property, and we would like to request to modify that restriction to allow her to proceed with the 2-lot subdivision. So we're trying to correct a mistake that was made in the past.
And thank you. And just to be clear, you didn't need the yard sale piece in order to subdivide.
Absolutely, that's correct. The lot was well oversized for the zoning district and had frontage on Vestal and road off Milk Street.
And if I may, through you, Mr. Chair,
Yes, please.
there've been a couple of emails back and forth to various people asking questions about this, but basically since 2017 and more particularly in the last year or so, a lot of attorneys at closing are realizing that they need to request that this language not be included in deeds in instances where a lot is subdividable prior to the acquisition and merger of a yard sale parcel. It's now become something that people are alert to. I think people were not paying as close attention years back, including 2017. So it's unfortunate that that wasn't thought of at the time of the conveyance, but it was an oversight. And in terms of the survey, it's just the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. It's the lot directly to the east, which is 71 Milk Street, had a pre-existing non-conforming frontage of 55 and change, and that went down a little bit as well. It's just the way, oddly, the survey ended up, and it's so de minimis. It's point, I think, 0.02 or something.
An inch.
Under what is required, but as you know, again, what I referred to with Mr. and Mrs. Greger in the previous hearing is that 13933L protects this lot by virtue of our causing this nonconformity. And I don't know what kind of subdivision they're going to want to do at the end of the day, but that's not our concern. They'll have to have approval to do it. This is just about them being able to do it. They'll have to meet all the subdivision rules and regs, whether that's an A&R, well, it won't be an A&R, but a rear lot or however they ended up doing it. So,
Lee, I see your hand raised.
Yeah, me
Very-
too.
You do. John, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I think I understand what's here. What I don't know is the town's attitude in terms of policy for amending the deed. And I was wondering if the chair or our staff person had a recommendation.
I can tell you, John actually could speak personally. He was one of the first people to come for a property in Monomoy, which was one of the first properties in the yard sale, one of the earlier ones. But
Right.
he came before the board. I think you were the first or second to ask to remove that restriction for a lot that was utterly subdividable. So he started the ball rolling, and then there've been several since, and then now attorneys are coming before conveyance to say, do not put that. And we had an instance where an attorney told our town council, and she kind of forgot, and the attorney said, no, at closing, because with all the attorneys review all the closing documents before conveyance. That's why I like to have attorneys involved, because a civilian might not know to carefully read these things, and it was caught. So it's now something that people are definitely paying attention to, Lee. And so the answer is, I can recommend that this is
Okay.
acceptable policy
Thank you,
in this instance.
Yeah, I'll chime in from previous experience that, yeah, it happens infrequently. It does. And I think that, I mean, as sort of an overarching discussion on this, circumstances change. I mean, there are properties that when this is not one of those instances, but I'm just saying that there are instances when a property may not have been subdividable and they acquire the yard sale parcel and zoning bylaw changes, zoning map changes, and selling the parcel is subdividable, whether or not they acquired the yard sale piece. And so it seems silly that the property owner would be hamstrung by a restriction that should no longer apply because of a change in circumstances through whether it be a zoning change, zoning bylaw change, et cetera. So I think that I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of these coming down, is what I'm ultimately getting at, because originally we were just dealing with ones, I mean, more or less in Surfside, and that was it. And they were all either 1 acre or 2 acre lots, and they couldn't be subdivided, period. And there was one instance when it was, and that's what created this all the language that's included in the deeds from now on. But I would not be surprised if we see more of these requests in the future, but that's neither here nor there.
So I do have a suggestion. It's a little bit complicated, but after subdivision, neither of the new lots may be conformable only because they've added the yard sale. In other words, after
I see what you mean.
subdivision, the new lots have to be conformable without the yard sale.
That's
you
in
mean
moving in the
conforming.
future, that makes sense.
You mean conforming?
Conforming, yeah.
Conformingly,
Yeah, same idea.
okay.
The
I have
root
a
word is
question,
conform.
Mr. Chair. May I ask a question? When
Please.
was it discovered of the 74.98 instead of the 75 feet? Did that just get discovered? Somebody? David, do you know?
I do. May I, John?
Please.
I don't know exactly when the 74.98 was discovered in the process. It was after the deed was recorded, and not until I didn't get involved with this project until last year.
Oh, okay, okay.
But
And-
it was an anomaly. I'll describe it as with the survey.
Yeah, no question. Was it discussed? Does anybody know whether it was ever discussed with the surveyor?
And you called the surveyor, right, David?
Yes, I spoke with the surveyor. He said it wasn't considered, and it was unfortunate, but nothing he could do at this point.
Okay.
I'll also note, with a touch of egg on our face, we've reviewed all of this as well, and we didn't catch it either.
I didn't
No.
catch it.
No, I mean, why? It's an inch. It's literally an inch.
Right.
It was less than an inch.
It's de minimis, no question.
Rhoda, do you have any other questions or comments on this?
No, I think, I've been back and forth with this, trying to understand how it happened. I mean, it's clear to me what's happened. And, I know that the primary purpose for our committee being formed was this very issue about not allowing the yard sale parcel to then create an additional subdividable lot. But that isn't the case here at all, that I can see. I think that it was clear that she was able to subdivide prior to this, and, this was a mistake, and I don't think she should be, punished for that. I don't think she should have to forfeit being able to subdivide because of it. So that's kind of where I come out with it.
Makes sense to me. Lee, is that along the same lines as you're thinking?
It is indeed. I've had my question answered.
Mhm.
So when you call for a vote, it'll be positive, but you're gonna have to call
Okay.
for it.
Fair enough.
It's just three of us.
There it is. All right. Any other members from the public want to add on this? All right. Hearing none. I think we're ready to make a motion on this. Would somebody like to make that positive recommendation to modify the subdivision restriction?
I'll make it. I make a motion to approve the request and send our approval to the select board prior to them having it on their agenda.
And Lee Saperstein seconds.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All right, let's do a roll call vote. Lee Saperstein,
Aye.
Rhoda Wyman,
Aye.
and the chair, John Brescher, votes aye as well. All right. The ayes have it. Good
Okay.
deal.
All right,
Thank you very
just
much.
quickly, as a ministerial matter, these minutes won't be approved until June or whenever the next meeting is. And I think probably, John, it's best to have you sign some sort of a memo that I'll create for you to
Sure.
give David to submit his request to the select board.
Works for me.
Okay.
Okay. All right, moving on the agenda. Next item, I think this is 7, is other business. Anybody have any other business they'd like to talk about today?
Next meeting date?
Hearing none,
yeah,
let's move on to the next meeting date.
Might want to tell you that I'm leaving this position, so
What?
I may be here for the next meeting, but I don't know. So depending on when it is.
Well, thank you very much. If this is your last, thank you for all of your hard work and service to the town and to this committee. We certainly,
Yes, from all of us. Thank
yeah,
you.
we would, believe me when I tell you, we could not function without it.
Well, you're welcome. I don't know who's taking my place, but Ken will have to handle that.
Oh, wait a minute. This is news. Eleanor, where are you going?
Now, where are you going?
Can't reveal that at the moment, but I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Point is not that chair. Yeah, not that office.
I'll let you know. It's not,
That's,
it's just
going
out of,
somewhere else.
out of respect for a few other people involved. So.
Oh,
Duly noted.
sorry to hear that, though.
Well, we'll make sure the minutes reflect that.
Okay, so the next month, I don't know if we're going to need to meet necessarily. If I haven't, in terms of the, immediate things, it would be the conveyance of the 2 unregistered parcels and the taking that we're going to be doing, but that
Yeah.
can wait till July. So we may or may not need to meet in June, but if you want to set something up in the event, we're missing 2 people here, so I sort of feel
Why don't
reluctant.
we wait, John? It's,
So
Yeah, or we can try to coordinate something via email to
yes,
for a meeting in June if we feel like we need one.
that's fine. We'll do it that way.
perfect.
Okay. With that in mind, can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn at
Second.
11:35. Motion made and second. Do roll call vote in favor. Lee Saperstein,
Aye.
Rhoda Wyman,
Aye.
and the chair, John Brescher, votes aye as well. All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.